And here we are, Bro Show number 4. Welcome to the Bro Show, February 13th, 2021. Well, it was a very exciting week this week in the news, the Trump impeachment Senate trials. And even if they don't impeach him, he's going to have to go to Georgia where he will be pelleted with peaches by the state legislator. So if he's not impeached, he will be peached in Georgia. Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl last Sunday by a landslide, but they're Floridians, so they're still disputing the count. By the way, they have 2 women coaches, which proves once again that estrogen gets your game up every time. Okay. Also, my back went out this week, so I got up one morning and I was going, oh. My wife was going, honey, what's the matter? I says, my back went out. So she says, went out where? It says, to lunch with Barack Obama. What do you think? So she says, so I says, oh, it hurts. It's out. So she says, yeah, I know, just like your cousin Marvin. So a bit about myself. I come from a very colorful family. It's like 50 Shades of Gray. I had this nutty aunt from Halifax, Nova Scotia, who thought she would try to fix up my blue-eyed cousin with the anchor man from CTV News. So you often found her talking to the TV screen a lot. Nothing like friend requests from these very sexy strangers who I called cyber sluts, internet cyber sluts, cyber hoes. You know, nothing to jumpstart my heart early in the morning than to get a friend request from a cyber hoe. You know. Yeah. So I was going to sing a song. I think I forgot the words to that song. And to all the cyber sluts I've known before, who sauntered in and out of my door, you really got me off. Too bad I couldn't feel you off. To all the cyber sluts I knew before. Those weren't the words I was supposed to sing. Anyhow. All right, so we're going to get on the show. And we have a great show tonight. We have coming up Reva Riley Goldberg. Just like you heard of Seinfeld, well, this is Goldberg. Coming to a TV network near you. But Larry David wants to have nothing to do with that TV series. And we have Kathy Varno O'Brien and special featured guest, star Las Vegas comedian, and she's very sexy with a full dance card and also a podcaster. She has a podcast called Comics Spot. From Las Vegas, Linda Marcus Smith. Okay. And I'm going to bring her up very, very shortly. She's been in comedy for 35 years. And she still looks great. She is a podcaster, a sensational, talented, very witty lady. Okay, she is the same age as, she's got a great age, actually, because of Woodstock, sexual position, and how many times I lied to women. So please welcome to our screens tonight the wonderful Linda Marcus Smith.
Hi guys, how you doing tonight? Oh my gosh, do we need to laugh today or what? Yes, we do. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. It's so nice to finally be on a show where one of us Jews are in charge of a list. It's nice when a Jew is in charge of a list. I'll tell you that right now. I've been busy, you guys. Busy. Not with the comedy, with aging. I've been getting older. Anybody else out there aging? This is it. This is what we get. You know, um, I tell people the same thing every time I see them. I just turned 21 for the third time, plus 6 years, because I don't lie. I'm killing it. I'm 69, you guys. 69. And because we have a lot of time during the pandemic, I realized that's the same year I graduated from high school. Yep. 1969. There was something else that was 69. Can't remember. Oh, well. Maybe Jeffrey will fill us in later on. I celebrate every day. Do you know I've been alive for 10,993 days today? It's like every day is a birthday and you don't want to buy the candles. Killing it with getting older, you guys. I prance around Vegas in prom gowns and hooker heels. Yeah, that's right, because my self-esteem has been taking a hit. I thought I lost my looks. Thank God it was the Me Too movement. Haven't got it honking I don't know how long. But when I put on a prom gown and hooker heels in Vegas, oh man, and I'll do anything to get attention. I'll go up and down the strip and wait for right in the middle of Vegas Boulevard and wait for a car to honk at me. I need the attention. I'm a boomer. Where do you think I got my self-esteem? From myself? I got it from men telling me I had value and that they were horny, but whatever. I need attention. And I get it when I'm in a prom gown and hooker heels in Vegas. I'll tell you, so much fun. A little bit about me. I originally started in Portland, Oregon. I came from Portland, and I'm sure you've heard of it in the news. They have gone Meshuggah in Portland. Don't I look like I burn statues and riot? Yeah. Don't let these dimples that I used to have fool you. Those are my superpowers. I'm kidding. I could never do that stuff. I couldn't. It's not in my wheelhouse, but God bless people that want to protest. I had to leave my hometown, not because of the rioting. I had to leave because of the Portland hipsters. Have you heard of this phenomenon? They look like they're the Paul Bunyan statue that came to life to tell me I look amazeballs. Amazeballs? What do you want me to do? If I Google that, Google's going to go nuts. Nancy Grace is going to come take my hard drive. You know, you can't do that stuff. Can't Google weird things with balls in it. Not at my age, with my record. Yeah. Portland is a weird place to live for me because I just want coffee. They have so many coffee bars. I go in, I just want something hot and black. Stick with me, I'm talking coffee. And I say, give me something hot and black. Usually there's 2 or 3 guys in line that volunteer. I just want something in a mug that's hot and black. And then talk about fruits and notes in Portland. And I'm thinking they're talking about the barista. Nope, it's the coffee. I'm telling you, Portland is a weird place. I had to leave there and I went to New York City. The first time the Empire State Building was calling out to me. It was so beautiful because it didn't have Trump's name on it. And I heard the song coming out of it. If you can make it here, you'll make it. That song. And then I heard, get out of the bike lane, you crazy bitch. Like, And she started stealing my identity. I'll just go on with this. Okay, you're back. You're back.
Oh, wow. You went
You're back.
catatonic there for a minute.
So I know. She starts stealing my identity. I wanted her to take my credit cards because my credit score's overdrawn. But no, she starts taking my symptoms. Everything I said I had because of getting yelled at the Empire State Building, she said she had. She's taking my identity, you guys. So, you know, I did the thing you're supposed to do when that happens. You take their husband. I'm kidding. I thought about it because she was willing to take my baggage. But I'm in Vegas, so come look me up. You'll see that I'm the only lady so far out there with prom gown and hooker heels and a mirror checking out my tuchus, which I might add is quite tight for my age. Thank you. I'm Linda Marcus Smith.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh my God. I mean, I think if, you know, you and my wife have one thing in common, like you're eternally youthful and you'll never act your age.
Never. Are you kidding me?
And I think both of you, your blood pressure must be below sea level.
Totally.
Because this knack of like never getting too stressed, you know.
I get very stressed in real life. Oh my gosh. And this pandemic has pushed me to the limit.
Yeah. The outer limits?
No, just like, you know, like I'm glad I have a mask on because I can say what I think about somebody when they come too close to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I heard someone once say that it was pushed to the limits, and someone else said it was pushed to the outer limits because he was walking down the street one day. He thought he saw an alien. He got scared. You know, I said, either that person has a bad case of COVID, or I'm hallucinating, or it's true. Aliens did have come to Earth to visit us.
Yeah. No, I love making people laugh because my parents survived the Holocaust, and the Holocaust that did exist. And that's the good news. And so I grew up with them staring out the window trying to forget. And, you know, and then they tell us never to forget it. But I tried to make them laugh all the time. And so it brings me a lot of joy to make people laugh.
What a gift. What a gift. Yeah. So you started in comedy, well, about 35 years ago?
Yeah, no, more like 7. I started in 2014, so 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been fun. I love doing comedy.
Well, what prompted you to go into stand-up?
Well, after making a Buckingham Palace guard and an East German border guard laugh and Holocaust surviving parents laugh, I thought I'd give it a shot. It's like, I don't think there's a heckler out there that's got anything on me. I think I can handle this. And after I raised my daughter and I was free, you know, empty nest, that's when I decided.
Okay. Shout out to George Jantius.
Hi, George.
He left
nice forehead.
I don't understand his emoji. It looks like some kind of a fruit. I don't know. Anyway, you know, I can't, you know, I feel so stupid sometimes. I can't figure out emojis, and and chat, messenger chat shorthands and initials, and like you feel so stupid,
I know.
oh boy, this is wow. Either I was born too late or I was born too early, I think. But sometimes I think I was born like at least 7 or 8 years too late because I missed the whole Woodstock scene. So, like I tell people, I'm not part of the Woodstock generation. I was the baby brother of the Woodstock generation. Because my older brother
I
went to
was
Woodstock.
there around. What?
Because my older brother went to Woodstock. And I only remember listening in camp. The counselors would play Woodstock records. So
I was around during Woodstock, but I was, very quiet and introverted, and I liked Neil Diamond, and he didn't play Woodstock.
No. Yeah, he was too busy coming into America.
He wasn't even on Charlie Brown or the Woodstock on Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
He wasn't out there.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing yellow glasses? What's that signify?
Yellow, just being part of it's being nonconformist, and just to be, it's a different kind of like sunny energy, kind of sunny, like a different, just to be different. I use them for my comic glasses, but I mean I wear mostly all day. When I go out, I'll wear these. Sometimes I have another pair of blue glasses that sometimes I'll put those on when I get tired of wearing these. But I put these on. But it's just part of my persona to look different,
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So, yeah, our prime minister run his campaign on his one of his slogans was so brilliant and deep and philosophical. It was like sunny ways, sunny ways, sunny ways. But if you go to sunny ways, at least wear yellow glasses. I mean, come on now, because you don't look credible otherwise.
You have a unique voice. Do you do impressions?
I can, yeah. I have done, just for fun, of fooling around with different impressions. I have done different impressions and accents and things, or just for fun, just because I enjoy going into different like acting styles and personas. One of my favorite presidents to do impressions is like, "Hi, I'm Jimmy Carter. And very glad. I want to thank the American people for electing me to be our president. And I really like the White House. It's a nice decor." And I used to do a lot of Nixon impressions and Bill and Clinton. Clinton was like, "I did not have sex with that woman." Yeah. So,
what made you decide to do all these shows for people?
Well, actually, it was inspired by a friendship I had with, like I said, a comedian from. He's now in BC. I met him in Montreal. He came into Montreal to live here and do comedy. He started up doing stand up. A very well spoken, charismatic, funny guy, good sense of humor, and he has a great, attractive stage presence. So, but he left after just before our shutdown and quarantine and everything went to hell here. He went back to home to BC, where he's from, in Vancouver. So he kept on messaging me. We kept in touch. We were in contact. We were friends before he left, and he wanted to do some open mics together with me, but it didn't quite work out, and things was very precarious here. So he kept on messaging me a lot on Messenger. "Hi, bro. Hi, broski. What's up? What up? What good? How's Montreal? What's new in Montreal? I said, everything's fine in Montreal. Still the same. Still snow. Still white. You know, don't worry about Montreal. I'll keep it for. I'll hold it for you, so it doesn't go anywhere. I'll hold it for you till you get back. You know, like so. So, and so we're talking. It says, "Why don't we do a bro show? We should do bro show." I said, "Yeah, yeah. It could be like intergenerational, intercultural, and absolutely rational." It says, "Yeah, amazing. I like that." So we did. He did a podcast with me with a doctor who was originally Canadian from Montreal, and went to Tennessee to practice. Left and went to practice in Tennessee. So, but she really got fed up with the Canadian healthcare system because of it's the way it's overloaded and it's inefficient and incompetence, and got the idea that the American health system was a lot better. So she had a lot of things. She really had a burn against Canadian healthcare, and the fact that she wouldn't shut up before the podcast. You know, all right, we got to do the show. Got to do the show. All right. Another comedian friend of mine said she got hot and spicy. So one of the people watching was Jackie Pearl. It was just after she friended me, and I gave her a spot for one of the shows, and so she was watching the show, and so she made a comment. You know, she made one comment, something about adulting being, fucking hard, and then she made a derogatory comment about the American health system. American healthcare sucks, which this doctor took personally, and she was talking. So it took almost count the number of seconds, waiting 30 seconds, a minute and a half. So about a minute and a half later, she reads and says, "What? Who wrote that? Lady?" She saw a picture because I posted it with her picture on the screen. So she says, "Lady, you don't know what you're talking about." Blah, 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 blah. Says, "Jeffrey, get rid of her. Get her. That's unprofessional, Jeffrey. That's it. I'm out of here. Goodbye." And she walked out, got off from the seat, and walked out of the room in the middle of the podcast. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
So a couple of days ago, I edited it just to keep that segment of which is about 3 minutes and some odd seconds, just no more than between 3 and 4 minutes, just to keep that. My wife calls it the empty chair. You got to post short clips. So I call that. So I called it professional meltdown. And oh boy, so it's kind of. Yeah, it's kind of funny. So, anyways, he backed out a few days, about 4 or 5 days before I was supposed to do a show just with him, me and him, which was January 16th. So I tried with someone else, and the chemistry wasn't quite right. Didn't really work out. It wasn't bad, but it was like personalities didn't really mesh that well, go that well. So I mean, it would have been better than him, but I mean, he was just not ready for this. So then I decided to go alone. And because I had so many comedians, such good responses, it's sort of catch on. Yeah, I want to be on. A lot of people who contacted me to get a spot. So, and it's still rolling now more than ever with people who want to be on, and very interesting and exceptionally talented people who have different things to offer. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for doing it. You make it possible for us to get better during this pandemic. So thank you so much.
Yeah, well, it's my pleasure. This is it's been a really a lot of fun being virtual producer. I thought I'd be like when it was before the pandemic hit, and we were still in the live shows. I was trying to have my own shows. Actually, I did one show and it was okay. And I was trying to get more other shows. I had the opportunities to do other shows, but then that was after they found out what happened in China and that the pandemic was going to hit. So things kind of went south. So that was, I lost the opportunity on actually on two occasions because I tried after when we came, I tried once and then tried again with couldn't do it. And I had live shows and everything. I had a lot of bookings lined up live, but then that had to be really put on hold. So we're still in a holding pattern here in Montreal with nothing, as far as bars and restaurants, no clubs can open. So
absolutely,
it's really rough. I think when things open up again, everyone's going to come back with a vengeance, and so it's going to be like a slingshot swing back kind of an effect after being closed down for so long. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As long as the virus doesn't come back,
Yeah.
wants to cut me out. It is silly. I guess I need more bandwidth. Maybe that bandwidth would still be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to be on a show March 31st on the comics spot. How's it going, by the way, with your podcast? Good.
Great. I got Jamie Kennedy was on the other day.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
He's kind of an icon in America.
Wow. Yeah. I've heard of him. Yeah.
Lots and lots of TV shows and stuff.
Wow. You're really getting there. Yeah.
I just love interviewing people and asking questions. That's just the way I am.
Yeah. It's it's really interesting. Yeah.
We should let the other people do their thing now.
Yeah. We have so stick around.
Thank you.
I don't want to let you go. Linda, please don't leave me. I love
you. Baby, don't go. I'll be around.
And
have me back.
So speaking of celebrities, I want to bring another celebrity right now. Momentarily has a famous name. You've heard of Seinfeld. Well, this guy is Goldberg. Not based on the series Seinfeld. Goldberg is a comic who has performed all over the Northeast, including Gotham Comedy Club, Stand Up New York, Broadway Comedy Club. He was featured in 2018 on Amazon Prime in the Turnpike Comedy Festival, and has been a writer in Comedy Wire for the last 5 years. Recently, he has performed numerous times via Zoom at Flappers Comedy Club and at international shows in Israel and England. He believes that in these times, more than ever, that laughter is the best medicine, even if sometimes the medicine tastes bitter. Please welcome to your screen, Goldberg.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I am so glad Linda came back. When she froze, I thought I was having a heart attack. I took some children's aspirin. I'm so glad. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was dying. Well, I'm sorry. I'm coughing. In New Jersey, they put smokers on the list to get the vaccine. So every day for the last week, I've been downing a pack of Camel. Can you believe this virus? Can you believe how long this has gone on? Nothing made in China lasts this long. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And it's making us do crazy things. Like here I am smoking. I fill out the questionnaire for the vaccine. We always want to make ourselves younger when it comes to the vaccine. I added 5 years. Like suddenly I'm an old man. And, God forbid in the past, if anyone called us fat, we'd get offended. Now, I'm offended if they don't call me fat. No, I'm obese. No, make me morbidly obese. I want to get that vaccine. Just great. Everything is just so nuts, so nuts. I mean, like I was sick a few weeks ago. I called the doctor. I said, "Doctor, I'm not feeling well. Can I come in and see you?" He said, "No, you can't come in and see me." I said, "Why not?" He said, "Because it may be COVID." I said, "When can I see you?" He said, "When you feel better." Just nuts. It's nuts. And everyone, essential workers, my neighbor is a big shot. Like he always flaunted the fact that he was a nuclear engineer. I'm a nuclear engineer. And he always talked about how important it is. 2 days into the pandemic, I see the guy home. I said, "Leon, what are you doing home?" He says, "I'm not essential." The nuclear engineer is not essential, but the barista at Starbucks is. Nuts. Oh, so nuts. And let me tell you something, people, I beg of you, wear your masks. I've been wearing a mask in public so long, I have tan lines on my face. One time I took the mask off, and now I'm in so much pain. I should have kept the mask on at the dentist office. Terrible. And everyone's getting COVID. Animals are getting COVID. Gorillas are getting COVID. Lions are getting COVID. The CDC just put out an announcement. Please, people, listen. Stay 6 feet away from gorillas and lions. I beg of you. I get COVID. And now the CDC said we have to wear 2 masks. Do you hear this? We have to wear 2 masks. I'm not surprised because I have always believed most people are two-faced. Always believed that. And you don't know what type of mask to wear. I asked my doctor, what type of mask should I wear? Surgical mask, the N95 mask. What type of mask do you wear? He said, wear a Jets mask, Jets. Because if you're wearing that, you're not catching a damn thing. And TV, you can't even film TV episodes. It's like there's nothing on TV. I turn on the news and they're doing the reruns from the impeachment. I don't understand. Nothing on TV. Just ridiculous. It's changed everything. Like Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow. So instead of buying my wife flowers and candy, I bought her vitamin D and zinc tablets. Don't tell her. Surprise. But listen, let me tell you about my name. You're wondering about my name. I used to have a first name, but I dropped it ever since I came out to my family. It did not go well. It really didn't go. I was surprised. I had a cousin. He came out transgender. They were so nice to him. They bought him new clothes, took him to a Broadway show. I came out Orthodox Jewish, and they flipped out. Oh, so you're going to go to heaven and we're not going to go to heaven? Now we have to make special food for you? You're putting us back a generation. They were not. And then when I walked the streets with the kippah, everyone called me Goldberg. So I said, you know what? I don't need a first name, so I dropped it. But it's really hard distinguishing yourself as a Jewish comedian because there's so many of them. So I distinguish myself by not being funny. But I love being Jewish. I really love being Jewish. But let me tell you something. Our holidays are pretty wacky. We got the holiday of Passover, right? What's the story of Passover? The Jews were running out of Egypt and the bread didn't have time to rise. That's why we have matzah. So in other words, people, no matter what's happening in your life, there's always time to eat. I mean, how did that go? Think about this. Let's go back thousands of years. How did that go? Oh my God, Dad, we have to go. The Egyptians, they're coming. Oh, slimy. That Pharaoh is such a slave driver. I worked so hard on the pyramids all day long. Your mother has a brisket in the oven. She's baking bread. No, Dad, we have to go. They're at the gates. We have to go. Oh, sit, Kindler. Better to run on a full stomach than an empty stomach. No, Dad, we have to go. It pulls out the bread, and that's how we have matzah. Just crazy holidays. Food's important to Jews. It's very important. My uncle, God rest his soul, my uncle Saul died in the Holocaust because of food. He had escaped the Nazis, but he realized there was a pastrami sandwich he left in the fridge, so he went back to get it. His wife Ethel, like every bar mitzvah she went, she broke down at the carving stations. It was very sad. It was just very sad. And I'm just crazy how then we have the holiday of Hanukkah. It was a miracle. The light was supposed to last one night. It lasted 8 nights. You call that a miracle? Keith Richards is still alive. That's a miracle. I found a woman to go to bed with me and marry me. That's a miracle. That's no miracle about the light. But listen, I'm finally going to make money being Jewish. I signed a movie deal. Superheroes are really big. You got the Black Panther. We got woman superhero. We even have the Protestant superhero called the Wasp. I will be the new Jewish superhero called the Jewish Kvetch. And my superpower is I make the villains feel so guilty that they surrender. Go ahead, Linda. Destroy the universe. See if I care. But just know you're breaking your mother's heart. We sent you to college. We sent you to med school. And you become an evil doctor? What's the matter with you? Oh, look at you, Jeff. Flying from planet to planet with those fancy schmancy flying machines. That you have time for, but to visit your parents, you have no time. But like every superhero, I have my kryptonite. Oh my God, is that a clearance sale? It comes out in the spring. Come see it. It was a pleasure. Stay funny. Keep laughing. Bye. That's my time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Can you move over to the side, the other side, more?
There we go.
We're only seeing half your face.
Oh, well, you're doing the good half.
So, yeah. It's like, which I don't know if you were doing that for more comic effect or.
Oh, no, I didn't know you were seeing half my face.
Yeah.
I saw my whole face.
Because,
I'm still freaking out over Linda freezing there, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore.
Yeah, I was starting to get worried because I thought, she's at an age now, you never know. I was hoping she wasn't going catatonic.
Yeah, I know.
This is like 3 Jews walk into StreamYard.
Yeah.
I just turned 60 last month.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, I got great gifts. My son bought me 23andMe, and I found out I'm not his father, so I'm saving money now, which is good.
Yeah. I don't know. 60 was one of the worst. Turning 60 almost 2 years ago was one of the worst crises of my life. I don't know what was worse, midlife crisis or the post-midlife crisis. My mailman turning 40. So I don't know what was worse. I was going nuts. I was having meltdowns. I was like more emotive than usual everywhere I went, until finally, when the shit hit the fan, I had an emotional breakdown. I had a meltdown, actually, in all places, a pharmacy. I was on the phone with my wife, and going like, I can't take it anymore. Honey, I can't do this anymore. This is just too hard for me. And the pharmacist goes over, sir, please control yourself. You're too loud. Please, sir, not here. Please. I made a spectacle of myself. And I don't know what my wife and the other end of the phone was thinking. And it just, everything came to a head. And then, till finally my wife said, Jeff, enough already. Get your ass on stage and do stand-up comedy already. Do me a favor, because I tried open mic music, but she thought I sucked at it. I made a video of you, Jeff. I don't think you want to see this. This is, okay, forget it. All right. It was nice while it was happening live, but I don't need to see a video. We'll pretend it never happened. It's okay. I'll do stand-up. I'll go to the open mic, and that's my thing,
That was Jackie Mason.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I remember like 40 years ago, I used to go to rock shows. I used to bring my drugs, my pop, my acid. I still go to rock shows. I bring my drugs, my Motrin, my Malox. And of course, the children's aspirin, just in case. It's hard. Doing 60 is hard. Even sex at 60 is hard. My doctor prescribed Viagra for me. I took it once, not so much for sex. I was at a party. I had nowhere to hang my coat. So I had to take it.
Yeah.
But you never give up the dream, right? You never give up the dream.
No.
40 years ago, I had a dream I was going to be on Saturday Night Live. I still have a similar dream. Now I dream to stay awake to watch Saturday Night Live. And he only once.
So how long have you been doing this?
I think growing up, I loved the Borscht Belt, and I wanted to be a comic back then. But back then, your venues were so limited. So I went and had whatever era, and I was a sniper for about 20 years, and now I'm back, and for the last 5 years I've been doing stand up. I think more full time.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody my age any hotter?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. You're very hot.
Yeah. She's like the 8th, 9th, and 10th wonder of the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that line.
We're seeing a sex therapist, and he says you have to spice it up. You have to, be risque, and so we're having sex in public. In public, my wife had the most amazing orgasm at a department store the other day. It's not like I or anything. She was in the clearance section, and everything was 80% off. So.
Yeah.
How's Canada doing?
It's frozen.
Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of snow here in New York. I haven't seen so much snow in New York since February 1986 at Studio 54.
Yeah.
A lot of snow. You have to.
Yeah.
Because of the weather, I'm here in Vegas, and I hear that everybody on the East Coast is getting a pounding while I'm home alone.
Yeah, so you're not getting a pounding, huh?
Well, I think over the fall when you were
Hello, is this thing on?
When you're having all the storms in the fall, and we didn't get any storms. You guys got the worst of it, and it was like suddenly everybody in Montreal turned Jewish because we were passed over.
We've been getting a snow job for 4 years.
Yeah.
Supposed to laugh, Goldberg.
Oh, you're coming in. You're not coming. Yeah, I heard. Sorry. This is very weird. The virtual world is very weird. I have enough problems in the real world, much less the virtual world.
Yeah.
It's weird. But if anyone's out there wants to follow me, my Twitter handle is @Goldberg_comic. But Twitter may be kicking me off. They contacted me today. I'm very upset about it. They found out I stayed for a weekend at the Trump Taj Mahal in 2002. So they might want to kick me off because of that. I told them I won money, but still, they said, "No, you're a Trump supporter. I'm out." So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes.
And you're Orthodox Jewish, so that's a double whammy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think of
Montreal? You said you're in Montreal.
Montreal, yeah.
Montreal. Is that where the royal couple, did they go to Canada or something? Am I wrong about that? Prince.
If they did, I must have missed it.
They're here in the United States now.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were in Canada.
They did for a while.
They weren't. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, they were. The Prime Minister said, "Sorry, we can't have you."
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife and I.
No vaccines.
We're waiting to hear back. Yeah, so they were in Canada. I remember that. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the news anymore. I literally, and this is true, I gave up the news for a New Year's resolution. I gave up the news, and I hear bits and pieces. So on the day of the Capitol, whatever, I heard that Kanye and Kim Kardashian were breaking up. And then I heard people were like seizing the Capitol. And I thought it was because Kanye and Kim broke up. I had no clue. I had no clue at all.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Thank you. How's Vegas?
So
Vegas is so dope. I have a real live show tonight at a big place. I get to be a guest spot.
Cool.
Yeah, you should come to Vegas.
Nice.
I'll introduce you to people. You're funny.
I will.
I know 4 people
Thank
here.
you.
yeah.
I'll let you meet them all.
I got an invitation. I got an invitation yesterday from Erica Schwarzkopf, who's in Honolulu, Hawaii. She runs a show in Honolulu, Hawaii every Tuesday night. Okay, at this bar. And she says she got a pretty fair size crowd for in these times, and they do all the restrictions, and they have to perform behind the plexiglass, and they're all wearing masks and all that, and wow. So I was thinking, I have to, if I'm going to go there out west, I might as well tie in some other cities, like I would tie in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, maybe San Francisco, and San Diego.
Nice.
So, and I have family in Los Angeles and San Diego, which I almost went 2 years ago for my cousin's 60th anniversary.
Ooh.
They got married 3 days after I was born.
If you come to Vegas and don't look me up, you guys are going to be in trouble.
Oh,
well,
I wouldn't do that.
I'll see you on the strip anyway, right?
Yeah. I'm the only old lady with a tight tuchus.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have comedy clubs open.
Are you kidding me? Look you up. I mean, I turned on my radar. I wouldn't have to. I would know exactly where you were. You'd be like a flashing dot on my radar. Linda is here. Okay. Take me to Linda's house. Okay.
When I say follow me, I mean down the strip.
There you go. Yeah. We have comedy clubs opening up here in New Jersey, but it's very limited capacity, and every show is a 12-drink minimum because of that. Changing it up a little bit. Gotta do what you gotta do to survive, right?
Yeah. So
funny.
you're in New York?
I was originally from New York, but now I live in New Jersey, but I don't like to admit that. But...
Oh, you're in New Jersey? What? You're from Long Island or
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, a Brooklynite.
What part of Brooklyn?
Canarsie.
Awesome.
Very good bodies.
Yeah.
Literally growing up, people disappeared, and they were like, I lived in a park called Seaview Park, and there's rumors of many people being buried there.
Yes.
I mean, I buried a cat there, but other people, real people, were buried there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to bring up our next comedian, our next guest, and we'll sign off with Goldberg. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
It's been hilarious.
Thank you.
Listening to you.
Yes.
And we'll see you again soon.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to bring on a very lovely young lady who's been waiting patiently backstage at our studio in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And she's a very modest young lady, so her introduction is very short. Riva is a fish biologist from Chicago. She presently lives in Maryland and studies how the fish make friends. Sounds fishy to me. I don't know about you. So please welcome to our screen, Reva Riley.
Hey, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I think this pandemic has given me a lot of time for introspection, and I've been thinking about family baggage. It's universal. Like, everyone here just got a vivid flashback, maybe of your mom wielding a wooden spoon like an enemy combatant, or your dad sneering that boys shouldn't experience human emotion. And today, I wanted to take you on a strange journey around my dad's section of the family baggage carousel. So, everyone on my dad's side of the family are prone to ingrown toenails. Several family members, including my dad, had it bad enough that they had to get a small surgery, after which they were totally the same and lived normal lives. As far as family genetic defects go, I figure we hit the jackpot. But my dad suffers from some toenail-related dysmorphia, and in a deeply unfortunate coincidence, he also had children with the bad habit of picking our toe and fingernails. This amplified the toenail-related baggage from small coin purse to oversized freight load. Like, for years, I was convinced that my hideously deformed Yeti feet would physically melt the eyeballs of any unfortunate soul who caught a glimpse of my ragged talons. And to understand why this went so deep, imagine being a kid and you'd see your dad get the nail clippers. So you'd dive under the bed and breathe as quietly as you could, but he'd get on his hands and knees and pull you up by your ankles while you clawed at the carpet and screamed for your mom. And your mom would be there trying to talk dad down, but his eyes had gone totally black, and he wielded the nail clippers like something out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And he'd say, "Let's look at what you've done." And then he'd pry open your hands and forcibly uncurl your toes and yell in disgust. All the other kids can see you pick your nails, and they judge you for it. Everyone judges you for it. It makes you look like a fool. While you wept and your mom left to look up child therapists in the yellow pages. Then he'd whip off his sock and brandish his foot in front of your face, screaming at you to look at it. Is this what you want? About which, as far as you could tell through the tears, was a normal man's toe. The weirdest thing is, other than that one insane hang-up, my dad is a lovely, laid-back guy. Like, totally fun to spend the day with. I'd recommend it to anyone. But to this day, Dad is convinced that the ingrown toenail operation has turned his feet into an unspeakable abomination instead of just having big toes with slightly smaller toenails. It was a cosmic tragedy that he had nail pickers for children. And for the record, none of us smoke or drink or shoplifted, but it might have been easier for us if those had been our vices. Like, I remember being 17, mere months away from legal adulthood, and having a mildly infected ingrown toenail, and confessing this to my mom, like, while sobbing. And she was like, "It's okay, don't worry, Dad never needs to know." Both my sisters had to get the toenail surgery, which they did in their 20s, and they also hid it from Dad. And that's weird, because we generally have a really open, honest relationship with our dad. We'd have been more willing to tell him about an abortion. Like, really, other than this, my dad is wonderful. Like, he has other quirks, sure, but they're mostly charming. When I was a teenager, my dad called me into the kitchen with the rest of my siblings already assembled. So yes, this was a planned event. And he proceeded to inform us of his personal system for evaluating the danger level of various birds. For reference, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. So my siblings and I were pretty perplexed when my dad proceeded to pull an unshelled walnut out of his pocket and say, "All right, listen, kids. To tell if a bird is dangerous, you see if it can crack a walnut. If it can crack a walnut, watch yourself." Now, an important exception is the ostrich. Again, we're in the American Midwest. They distract you with their pinchy little beaks, but then when you least expect it, they kick your heart right through your chest. So there's a lot to analyze there. Why does my dad think that we regularly encounter dangerous birds? And does he expect us to walk around with pockets full of unshelled walnuts so that when we encounter a bird of unknown character, we can offer it a walnut? And as everyone knows that birds are upstanding citizens, the bird will politely crack the walnut if it can, so alerting us to the level of threat it poses. Does Dad regularly walk around with pockets full of unshelled walnuts for this purpose? Siblings and I speculated about this for years, and at some point I asked my dad why he had felt the need to develop the walnut test. He got a faraway look in his eye and said, "Many years ago, I was killing time on a work trip at a zoo in Kentucky. Because this was Kentucky in the 80s, there weren't many cages, and most of the animals were just loose. And I watched this jackass go up to this strange, beautiful bird, bright blue and calm as the ocean on a postcard. And then that jackass started yanking on his tail feathers, and in a flash, that bird had sliced the man's cheek open to the bone. I never forgot it. Birds are not what they seem." To be clear, my dad did not blame the bird for its self-defense. He's a lawyer, and he wrote a letter to the zoo on legal letterhead in the bird's defense. But he just wasn't going to let his children navigate the world without his avian knowledge. The only talons we should fear are our own. Anyway, that's me. Thanks so much for having me.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's that. Oh my God. But I was wondering, while you were talking and doing your set, I was wondering, like, wow, what growing up, like, what did your parents ever do with you?
We had a really normal life other than the toenail thing. We just like, it was really like childhood was pretty good other than that.
Yeah. Did they ever have any ideas of getting you into show business?
No, the comedy came out of left field, I think, for my family, because my day job is a fish biologist. So yeah, I kind of took my parents by surprise with the comedy thing.
How long has it been now since you started your stand-up?
Well, 3 years ago, I took a workshop, a stand-up comedy workshop for scientists. So, it's a real thing. Yeah, and I got credit for it too. I got course credit, and I had two options. I could take advanced theoretical biostatistics or stand-up comedy, and they counted for the same amount of credit. So guess which one I took. So I started doing science-themed stand-up comedy, and I did that for a couple years. And then for the last year and a half before the summer, I was living in London, so I decided to give comedy a go. So I've been doing normal stuff for about a year and a half.
Oh, so you did some comedy for the Brits, did you?
I sure did, and it is a different experience. Yeah, they no one does a stony glare like a Brit.
Yeah. So they must have thought you were jolly good.
Yeah.
She's a very fine bird.
The finest compliment you could get was, "That wasn't bad."
Yeah.
That was like the pinnacle of a British compliment.
Yeah. Now I understand where they get the expression London swings.
London's a great city. I did like it there a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Brains.
I have a question.
Sense of humor.
Are there similarities between fish biology and doing stand-up?
Well, I mean, I think that as an amateur comic and a fish biologist, no one's paying any attention to what you're doing. So that's very similar. I think being a fish biologist sets the bar real low, which is great. So that's good. I feel like yeah, those are some key similarities. But yeah.
Well, it's ironic though, studying fish, fish swim in streams, and now you're doing comedy and you're in a lot of streams.
My whole life is streams. Yeah, that's absolutely true. The fish I study actually live in little streams in the Amazon. So it's a lot of that.
You're swimming in the stream. backstrokes in the stream, side strokes and breaststrokes in the stream. You know,
Yeah, maybe my two lives aren't so different.
so it's just yeah. So I bet you they really liked you there in London. You got along very swimmingly.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the bar for Americans is low too. So, I mean, the fact that I was literate already put me in the top 10% according to Fitz. I used to make a joke that I could tell if a Brit liked me if they guessed that I was Canadian.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's one sure way to score some points. Canada, eh? Oh,
I did
it was loyal to the Queen Elizabeth. I heard Prince Charles talking the other day that the Queen really loves her Canada. To her Governor General every day on the phone. They get along marvelously. Famous,
still on their money. So
So the money looks kind of strange, but not as color. It's very colorful, more than the U.S. dollar.
I think I read somewhere that Canada did this like glow in the dark dinosaur like dollar, which isn't that like the coolest thing? Like, I mean, what a way to get children interested in investing, right?
Yeah. Which is a perfect solution to the problem of I lost my money. I can't find it.
Exactly. Yeah. Power's out. Don't worry. You'll still find it. I think once lie to someone on a bus in Scotland because we were like chatting because they chat to you in Scotland. They don't in England. Like you don't talk to strangers in England at all. But in Scotland they're really friendly. And she asked if I was Canadian, and I calculated that I would never see her again, and I just said yes. Then we had a really nice conversation, so I think it was worth it.
Yeah. So where are you living now?
So I'm in Maryland, outside of DC. So I work at the University of Maryland.
Oh, works at the university, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I went to school at the University of Maryland.
Really? College Park?
No, overseas division when I was in the Army.
Oh, cool. Where were you at?
Germany.
Oh man, that's awesome. Like, what was it like?
So cool. In the 70s, you'd be a soldier, and then you'd go a couple times a week to class and get an A. It's so easy, I got A's in psychology, could never do that, in America.
What was it like studying psychology in the military?
It was fun. I mean, I loved learning all the technological terms for everything, and then using them on my counterparts, and I was getting smarter and they were looking dumber to me every day. Just kidding. Playing around.
Win the military. Is that a thing you can do? Can you win the military?
Yeah, you can. It's like that. What is that game everybody plays where they off people?
Among Us. Yeah.
It's like that, only real. You can win the whole military if you tried.
That's awesome.
I was the only woman. They put me on a post with 2,000 men, you guys.
That's
it was
hell,
just me.
right? Like that. That's hell, right? Like that seems.
I'm addicted to attention now. I haven't stopped smiling since 1976.
Well, maybe I've done things wrong.
It's probably because that was probably because that was the year that Jimmy Carter was elected. 1976.
That Jimmy Carter. I remember.
He didn't know peanuts. Ridiculous, right?
Okay. So stick around, and we're going to bring up our next comedian. Okay. And I'm going to introduce her momentarily. Kathy lives in Richmond, Virginia. She recently divorced the world of online comedy, which combines her love of writing, humor, and human interaction. Please give a warm welcome to our screen, Kathy Varner O'Brien.
Hey, thank you so much. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. This is new to me. So I'm so cranky, man. I ordered food last night, and the lady says, Kathy with a K or a C, and I was like, fucking, I could give a shit. Just put a K, whatever you want. Just put a K or C there. It doesn't really matter because they both spell Kathy. Put whatever you want, man. And I'm thinking she's probably like, this woman is very cranky. I received an alert on my phone that the iOS 14.4 update will be installed later tonight. And I'm like, fucking A, great. I'm like, I need the iPhone updates for dummies, because I don't know what any of them mean. Like, none of the updates on my phone have ever made sense to me. Like, I'm just like, I need to get the general phone down. I'm very bad with my phone. Anyway, last Sunday, I was talking to my friend, and he says, I hate Tom Brady. I'm like, I say, yeah, that guy is an uppercase schmuck. And I don't even know why I said that, because I don't know anything about Tom Brady. The only thing I know about that guy is that he has a lot more money than me, and he's a much better quarterback than me. I participated in the staff meeting the other day, and my coworker is going to give birth soon. And all I could think about was like, thank God it's not me. I mean, Alec Baldwin has like a shit ton of kids, and I don't know how he does it. He's 62 years old. I'm 55 years old. If I had a baby, I would like take the baby to Kroger and return home, and my husband would be like, where's the baby? I'm not sure. It's somewhere between customer service and aisle 157 where the diapers are located. I lost the baby. I'm sorry. We need to call Lost and Found. It would be a complete disaster if I was in charge of a baby right now. But I need to get a gift for my coworker, and I'm thinking a bottle of Jägermeister and a bottle of Xanax with a note that says, good luck with that. Would that be appropriate? I'm thinking probably not. But when my teenagers were babies, I was totally on top of things. Like, I really was. I was a good mom. And I even like had baby books where I put their like milestones. I don't know. I was much more together back then. But a few years ago, my son says to me, Mom, Nickelback sucks. So I pull out the baby book and I just write in the baby book, Charles thinks Nickelback sucks. Under the major milestones portion of the baby book. When Charles was 10 years old, he set the bamboo forest on fire And I wrote in the baby book, I'm worried I might have a young Joseph Stalin on my hand. I have been working as a paralegal for a very long time doing child abuse work, and I do not recommend it whatsoever. But it's the weird things that happen with my coworkers that get me through my day. So I'm catching up with a coworker, and she says, Kathy, Jeff, who is her husband, says, honey, come here and check out this TV show. And I go into the room, and it's the goddamn Discovery Channel. And she says, Kathy, there was a big old slimy whale on the TV. And I say to Jeff, what makes you think I would be interested in a damn slimy whale? And I'm like, I'm like, wow, I would never have this conversation with anyone that I know. I mean, what the fuck? And anyway, I'm like, well, whales are fascinating creatures. People pay a lot of money to see them. And she's like, you couldn't pay me enough money to see a damn whale. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck, man? Anyway, one time I was walking with a coworker to the parking deck, and we were walking by a music venue on the way, and there was a Marilyn Manson concert playing at the venue. And let me just say that the parking lot scene at a Marilyn Manson concert is very different than, for instance, the parking lot scene at a Grateful Dead show, because those people are dressed in like bright tie-dyes. They're like blowing bubbles, spinning in circles, generally engaged in merriment. The parking lot scene at a Marilyn Manson concert is like a large gathering of death. And I'm like, how did that dude score so many gorgeous, seemingly put together women? I don't know. I don't know how he did it. Because, like, the first date, I would be like, oh, your name is a mixture of Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson. This is a red flag. I'll call you. I mean, that guy is a fucking freak, man. I don't know. I don't get it. And McConnell decided to acquit Trump. And that's similar to me saying to my husband, oh my God, you were acting like an upper fucking case asshole. I want to leave you. And then the next day, I'm like, I cannot imagine life without you. Like,
okay, thank you very much. Okay, yeah. But he still won't vote to convict him, though. It's because it's kind of sort of like the relationship is kind of strange. It's like, a guy with or a woman with an abusive partner, who can't leaves the partner, but goes back, can't really leave the partner, and won't, just like, you're addicted to abuse, and you can't do anything about it, so they're in an
I
abusive
don't get it.
relationship with themselves.
I do not get it.
It's like if someone raided your home, you raided my home and stole my best china and my lectern, but you're still not guilty.
I don't get it.
So, yeah. Yeah. So a lot of fancy museum pieces. Interesting costumes, though, I have to say. The Viking horns and the fur vest was I wonder where he got it. It was a very interesting fashion, very interesting costume.
Yeah, what a set of decisions that went into that, huh?
Yeah. What was he thinking, Okay, so Kathy, you're fairly new to the
I
comedy
am.
scene, and
Yeah, I started the comedy scene probably like in June. Um, but prior to that, in my hometown, Richmond, Virginia, I did pre-COVID. I did a improv class through a comedy, um, the Richmond Comedy Coalition, and I had a lot of fun with that. I mean, improv is tough. It's you know, you got to. I mean, you're just like, you know, it's
yeah,
really,
yeah.
to me, it really, it's
Oh,
challenging because you're just
yeah.
given these scenarios you have to roll with.
Oh, yeah.
But I've done some comedy shows online where you have to do that, and I find, it's challenging, but it really, um, I think it's good to do that kind of stuff because it pushes your boundaries. Just to come up with something on the fly.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm new to the comedy scene. I'm a writer, um, and I love writing humor and discovered this world of online comedy. It's a it's a lot of fun. There's there's also some mics where you're like, what the fuck? Ah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I think there's a lot of great comedy out there.
Yeah.
And it's fun for me because fucking COVID, man. Like, I mean, I did this mic with this. I love this chick. She's out of Manhattan and she does a mic and she's so funny. And we were talking and she's got young kids and it's challenging. It's challenging. And we were both like, we were having the worst day, and I was like, what else are you gonna do, man? Get on the comedy mics and not be in your head.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I find it really entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one comment from a comedian and comedy show producer, Richard Mullen, says, "Hi, Richard," and he says, "I love doing improv. Makes me a better comic." But the way he spelled improv, he spelled it like improve. I like doing improve, makes me a better comic. So,
Oh,
so
that's neat. That's cool. I like that.
improve or improv,
Yeah.
improv improvement classes,
No,
how
that's
to,
really neat. I like that.
yeah, but it's spontaneity, like sharpness, spontaneity, and to be naturally humorous. It's kind of tough to teach, you know,
I agree.
and it's something that it's a lot of people. It's got to come natural. For a lot of people, they're just naturally gifted that way, like singers, and
Yeah, musician, any art, right?
yeah, musicians, singers,
Writers.
yeah, even writers to a certain extent. Writing is a gifted talent, as not everybody can write, and that's one of the talents. But if you're gifted in one thing, like writing, like writing or writing music, you transfer your gifts to comedy, and I see that you're able to transfer your gifts using humor. Like it crossed over to humor pretty well. So I see a lot of potential there. Yeah. So yeah, I got the joke. I'm doing this guy. He's this very smart guy. He's a very witty, clever, smart alecky kind of guy doing improv. And I think he really meant it as a pun. That's the thing. It's the whole, yeah. And, yeah, he's a great guy, very fun guy to work with. And I was in one of his shows actually over a year and a few months ago, and it was good. Gave me a chance to test out some new material. I did something. I had like one of these things. Like you ever you write something, and you say, "Well, when am I going to use it? When am I going to use it?" You never use it, but it comes one time. You get up on a stage. There's okay. I'll use it. And I just saved it for last. And okay, now I know. Well, it worked. Someone really found it funny. It was a great ending. So some material is like you might have so much material that you don't. I should use it more. You don't use it often enough. It's like you can't use everything. There's just so much, and you're picking and choosing, you're cherry picking your different jokes and material. But I see in your style that your writing must be very interesting. What you write about, though.
I'm a writer.
Yeah. What you write, like stories, short stories, or
I'm a published author.
Mm.
It's just my passion.
Yeah.
It's what I do. So
yeah,
the beauty of my discovery of online comedy is that I can write and add in humor and associate with people. It's a cool thing for me because I love I'm a writer. It's just what I do. So
yeah. Do you have any other hobbies, Riva? Any other interests, hobbies, or pastimes?
I write fiction. That's one of my big hobbies as well. So I think that's also kind of how I obliquely got into comedy. Otherwise, I have a pet turtle that I'm extremely fond of, and I spend a lot of time maintaining her. She's in this tank right here. Maybe it's just the pandemic, but I think that she might be the love of my life.
Aww.
Yeah, you can see her there.
Oh, so cute.
Isn't she just? Thank you. I need that. So I spend a lot of time with her, and between the fish biology and the fiction writing and the comedy, that's the turtle. Yeah, she takes more time than you think. She has a sore eye right now. It's a source of a lot of distress in this household.
Wow, that's good. A fish keeper, and well, turtle keeper and fish biologist, or did you study marine biology?
So, funnily enough, my degree is technically in organismic and evolutionary biology, which is unfortunate because organismic is not a word in English. We were named by a fellow in the late 1800s. So basically zoology is the degree my PhD is in.
Where'd you go to school?
So I did my undergrad at Harvard and my PhD in Cambridge in England.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm not just a nerd. I'm like their queen.
Good for you.
the queen of the nerds, you know.
Not a bad place to study, that's for sure.
It's like, wow,
I love England.
England, yeah, I was, I think, the most social person there when I was there, even though by American standards, I'd call myself an introvert. But
it's a great country, man.
I love England. Yeah, I make fun of it. I think now that I'm away from it, it's part of the detox. But I loved it. I had a wonderful time.
Did you ever go to the Cotswolds?
I did. Yeah, I feel like that's
the Cotswolds are
like Gemma.
It's like paradise. I'm like, oh my God, this is the most amazing place I've ever been.
It's like a storybook.
It is a storybook.
Yeah. I love the Cotswolds. I can't recommend dating British men though. So I went there with and that was But other than him, it was great. Like it was really lovely.
Man, yeah, the Cotswolds.
And when I graduated, my parents came to visit, and we went to the Cotswolds. My mom and dad had never been to London, and they were like, "What?"
Did you make it up to Scotland?
I did. So I actually worked for a year up in St. Andrews before I started my postgrad degree.
Nice.
I love Scotland.
Have you been to Isle of Skye?
Yes, I actually went to Isle of Skye with my best friend since I was in high school, who's here behind me, whose surname is Goldberg.
It's like you drive onto Isle of Skye and you're like, this is a fucking Lord of the Rings.
Honestly,
movie set.
That's We're from the suburbs of Chicago, right? So we're impressed by mountains baseline, and then we get to Isle of Skye, and
it's crazy. It's so freaking like, okay, I've arrived in paradise, man.
Yeah. It'd be like a good place. This is so dark, but it'd be a good place to like die, you know. Like, but yeah, I love the UK. I had a really lovely time there.
What a beautiful place.
That's Katie Goldberg. That's my best friend. We haven't seen each other in a really long time, so we're having a really nice reunion.
Okay, that's good. Well, that's good because we have some for real live audience on the stream, not just streamed in audience.
Yeah. We audience of one.
You guys are great.
Audience of one. So it's good. We appreciate that. Can't do much crowd work. It's only one person, so
yeah. I feel like I benefited from.
I've got like 8 personalities, so if that sounds.
Well, that would help, you know.
Hi.
8 personalities.
All 8 of my other personalities, like you guys are all great.
The turtle's been here. She's been paying a lot of attention. I think she enjoys it. Like,
yeah. I think the turtle enjoys it too.
Yeah, it's been a long solitary pandemic. Katie's the first human I've seen in a long time, so I'm a little different.
Yeah, talk about. I mean, Kathy said she did it for the human interaction, but I think I know who needs the human interaction more.
My like best friend in my state right now is the turtle, and I'm not sure I'm her best friend. I think she's. That's why Katie came to visit, because of the crew thing. Anyway, I'm fine. It's fine.
It's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, like bubble. This is a good comedy concept, like bubble comedy. You have comedy with people. You get bubbles. It's just like virtual comedy, like with bubbles. You get together like people's bubbles. So it's like bubble. bubbly comedy, you know.
Yeah. We have an octobubble comedy then.
Yeah.
My son's like, when can I let the dogs down?
Well, I did adopt a cat recently because I was getting too attached to the turtle. So he's been less impressed. He's but he's a cat,
Oh. The only reason I don't let the dogs down is because they bark so much. Otherwise, they would totally be welcome.
Oh yeah, it's hard to reason with dogs.
But they're just barkers. Because we have squirrels, and they're like, they want the squirrels. I don't know. They want to do something with the squirrels, and I'm not sure what it is.
The primal conflict.
Yeah, they're herders. So my son's like, "Are you done with your comedy thing?"
No, I thought I was the one that was supposed to go see the psychiatrist.
I give my son big points for keeping the dogs and not setting the bamboo forest on fire.
Not have some bitcoins.
Yeah,
this is the money
he gets points for this.
This is, don't lose it. This is the money we're going to use in the future.
I don't even get the bit. I don't understand. And I've got like a brother-in-law that is like a hedge fund dude. And he had a conversation with me about the Bitcoin situation. And I was like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Like, I just like, there's something about it. I just can't understand it. I don't get the Bitcoin thing. I don't get finance whatsoever. I mean, we were talking about like, what was the game bit or something? Game something.
GameStop.
And he's telling me all about it. And I'm like, I have no idea what any of this means, man.
Yeah.
I just don't get finance.
I think it's been said so often. I think that's the safe word. Like hedge fund managers.
All I know is my brother-in-law is very rich and I'm not. So he has a much better understanding of finance than I do.
It's true though, all those Wall Street S&M dungeons, everyone's just crying out GameStop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Okay. Enough. GameStop. No,
oh yeah.
Not enough.
The wax and water, or whatever it is.
God, what is up with all that? What is up with everything that's happening? I'm like, make it stop. Just make it stop.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and then they have this game called Robin Hood, and it's kind of like fantasy football for Wall Street traders, Okay. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll do well with
that. It's been a great show, and very glad you came on. And wish you all the best of luck in your endeavors. And that's it. Keep writing.
All righty. Take care.
Thanks for having me.
Take care. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, be safe, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was it. So that concludes the Bro Show, number 3, intergenerational, intercultural, and absolutely irrational, as you can see for yourself. And people who tuned in, thanks for tuning in, and thank you for all your likes and haha faces. So tune in next week. We got a great show right here on the Bro Show next week, February 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a special guest, Ricky Smoove, who has branded himself as the king of weird shit, has his own Spotify radio comedy show, and he's really funny, talented fellow. And plus, we have another 3 or 4 other fantastic comedians that you will enjoy. And so tune in and stay safe, stay warm wherever you are. Good night.